Howdy everyone, it's Sam. I hope you're all doing really well. If you're new around here, I hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel. And if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. Magic round is done and dusted, and there was some serious magic in that first half of tonight's great win by the Cowboys over the West Tigers, 36 points to 12. I think Magic Round, the 2022 edition, was the best edition of the Australian Magic Round to date. He's hoping that it continues to get better and continues to evolve as well. And I think massive kudos to the curators out there at Brisbane, because I think there was a chance that it could have gotten too scratched up. It could have been too muddy and the like. But there were no players that were injured this weekend because of the turf being not up to standard. So I think a massive congratulations to the curators and everyone out there that put on the festival over this past weekend up there at Magic Round. So if you're just tuning in, this is the West Tigers versus North Queensland Cowboys review in the final game of Magic Round 2022. And it was actually, well, that first half anyway was one of the better halves of the entire weekend, which is so cool. So cool. And North Queensland Cowboys sit outright third. My goodness gracious, bloody me, my goodness. Just before I go on, I just want to say hello to anyone and everyone that's in the chat right now. Piripi Akwasi, hey bro, thank you very much for tuning in once more. CJ, hey man, thank you very much. And yeah, we hit a, well, I hit a, or we all hit a milestone on this channel, 500 subscribers. So that means, I suppose, I'm not too sure, but it means apparently or allegedly that I get to unlock the community tab in the next week or so. So expect a community post from me. I promise I won't spam it too much, but you never know. But yeah, it's a really cool milestone. And to everyone out there watching now, and to everyone that has subscribed, dudes, it means so much. Like, it's unreal. Like, thank you so much for the continuous support. It's been unreal. Mr. CJ Moxley's in the house. Hey man, Cowboys are playing some great footy. Yeah, they are, bro. Yeah, they are, bro. Just gonna scroll even more down, further down. Sorry. CJ says, Sam, mate, enjoy the feeling. Cowboys are playing like damn contenders. Massive test against Melbourne and Penrith in the next 2 weeks. It is. And we'll get more into it just a little bit later. Piripi says Cowboys way too good. Faraz Alam says Tigers are back to normal. Ooh, a bit harsh, but I guess so. And we'll talk about their injuries. Boy, howdy, it just wasn't their night, West Tigers. I think they showed a lot of heart tonight, Wests, but it just wasn't their night, especially when you saw the footage of Luke Brooks not coming out of the sheds for the second half. Miss Jacqueline Dixon is in the house. Hey, Jacqueline, how you going? You're always tuning in. Thank you very much for the continuous support. Let me just keep scrolling down. Magic round for sure. Mr. Jason Reeder, hey dude, how you going? Thank you, matey. And Jacqueline says she's proud to be a Cowboy supporter. And well, let's start here. So Jacqueline Dixon did beat me to it. You beat me to it, Jacqueline. To start the evening, Cowboys came on and they sort of didn't take their positions on the field, and you thought, ooh, this is going to be nice. And there was a moment's silence, and that's another rap that I want to give to as well. I think maybe 90% of the entire, well, I think it was that moment's silence for Andrew Simmons, Roy Simmons, who lost his life overnight in a car accident. May he rest in peace. One of the more, what do I say? One of the more popular Australian cricketers in my lifetime, for sure. I remember him playing as I was a kid growing up. So yeah, there was an impeccably held moment's silence to sort of start off the night before kickoff. And yeah, it was impeccably held. I think kudos also has to go to the Brisbane crowd for remaining just stone silent for that for just that little portion there. Mr. Jacko here. Jacko is here. Just had to see. Oh, cheers, bro. Just it's cheers, man. And congratulations on the win. Thank you, Piripi. Just going to keep on scrolling down, and I'll see you in 2 weeks too, Mr. CJ Moxley, for sure, man, for sure. Miss Jacqueline Dixon, hope they play like this next weekend when you are going. So you're going to Queensland Country Bank Stadium, are you, Jacqueline? Great. But I'll tell you what, they're not going to play like they did tonight. They're going to play even better next weekend when they host Melbourne. We're going to get into that a little bit later as well. And yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Andrew Simon Simmons, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, so let's get into the game review. So the game kicked off and the Cowboys actually had to repel some attacking raids from the West Tigers. And the first error came in the 6th minute from the West Tigers, knocking the ball on. And pretty much from that error, this is what happened. The try of the year so far. From that West Tigers knock on, the try of the season happened. Murray Tuolangi gets the ball, and he looks like he's about to be taken out by Jackson Hastings deep into the corner of the in-goal area. But fair income, he realizes he's about to be put into touch. He looks like he then leaps, outstretches his arms, and then throws it back on the inside for Scott Drinkwater to score a try on his birthday, nonetheless. Holy crap. Excuse me language, but my goodness, Murray Tuolangi with the try assist of the year. It was the best try of Magic Round, and for something like that to happen in the final game of Magic Round, it just the interwebs went absolutely berserk. Everyone in the NRL universe lost their collective minds. And guys, if you're watching now, please let me know what did you think about it in the chat. What a try, CJ Moxley! What a try that was. Tuolangi, it was Drinkwater to Tuolangi to Drinkwater. That's right. Jacko Hughes agrees. Try of the year for sure. How is that beatable? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Jacqueline Dixon, she can't wait. CJ Moxley says Cowboys go 5 straight for the first time since 2016. It's good. Jacqueline Dixon, MFG, that was magic indeed. So Tuolangi and Drinkwater combining to score the try of the year so far. Tuolangi putting in the best try assist of the season. It will be, as Jacko here said, it's going to be so hard to top that. That was unbelievable. He was meters out of bounds, and somehow he had the wherewithal to throw it back inside for Jacqueline Dixon. It was just immense. And Jacqueline Dixon reckons the last try of the game was magical. And Jacko here says it appears Peyton can coach after all. Yes, it can. Yes, it does, doesn't it? So now I'm just going to go deeper in. So in the 14th minute, kudos to the West Tigers. I think Faraz Alam earlier said that Tigers look like they're back to old. I think that's a little bit unfair, man, because the West Tigers showed plenty of ticker. They completed in that first half, I believe they completed something along the lines. Well, they only made 2 handling errors in that first half, West Tigers, and they kind of hit back straight away after giving up the first points of the game. There was a crossfield kick from Jackson Hastings or Luke Brooks. I apologies, my mind is frazzled at the moment, but it was the young debutant, Tupou, jumping up. Unfortunately, Murray Tuolangi didn't want to contest the floating ball crossfield kick. And so the young debutant Tupou, who was named earlier, it was last night, Tupou came in, screamed in for the ball, and scored on debut, man. So that was a really cool moment. Came out of nowhere, and you thought, oh, it's game on here for sure. And then literally 4 minutes later, a beautiful, really smart piece of play occurred where the ball was on the right-hand side of the paddock, 10 meters out from the Cowboys try line, and Peter Hiku is the right attacking centre for North Queensland Cowboys, right? Well, not on this occasion. So the ball started on the right-hand side. It went from Dearden to Townsend, I'm sure, and it got to Peter Hiku, who was in a fullback position. As a matter of fact, I think it might have gone from Drinkwater to Hiku. And Hiku then had a floating, arcing run to the left-hand side, created numbers for Murray Tuolangi. He passed the ball, Hiku, to Tuolangi for him to score a try of his own only 4 minutes after giving up the first try, which was just, and it's not the first time we have seen Peter Hiku act as a fullback for a certain kind of play for Murray Tuolangi and Valentine Holmes. So Peter Hiku, man, he's had just a little bit of a quiet couple of weeks, but tonight he was well back in form, man. He was very good for us this evening. And then 10 minutes go by. And guys, if you're watching this, please let me know what your thoughts are on this moment. Ruben Cotter was put on report for a hip drop tackle by Gerard Sutton. And I put hip drop tackle in inverted commas, and it was on the young debutant Tupou. And Cotter's was put on report. I lost it. I roared, and I think the next door neighbors heard me. I couldn't care though, but I was ropeable at that decision from Gerard Sutton or the bunker to put Ruben Cotter on report and blow a penalty for a hip drop tackle that just wasn't. That was a disgraceful decision from the bunker and Gerard Sutton. And from the ensuing play, from the ensuing set of 6 from the West Tigers, Luke Garner scores immediately from that penalty, from a nice ball from Luke Brooks, and Garner goes over and scores. And there was a comment in my group chat that did suggest and say that it was soft to let in a try that quickly after points. And look, what soft might be a bit too strong of a word, but Tuolangi did race in up off of his wing and then created the space behind him or thereabouts for Luke Garner to sort of just steamroll his way over. And the West Tigers, they hit the lead 12 points to 8 sort of thing. And it's like, wow, this is a really cool game of rugby league. Both teams are completing high. They're both putting on some trick plays and playing with a lot of heart. It was a really entertaining game, but again, I am so knocked off that Ruben Cotter was put on report for such an innocuous tackle. It sucked, man. So I'm just going to pause this for a sec, guys, and go into the chat here. Jacqueline Dixon wanted New Jersey Cowboys, still got none. You'll get some next week. They're going to be Tigers went okay, then injuries hit and they slowly ran out of energy. That's exactly right. I think they were going well. I'd say they were going better than okay. I'd say they're going well. Okay. But yeah, I think Tigers were decent. I would say even good in that first half. And Jacko here said, Hiku, just a natural eyes up footy player. Yep. And Robert M, hey man, just tuning in. Hey dude, how you going? Nice win by the Cowboys. Yeah, dude, it was a very, very nice win by the Cowboys. So now this is another moment that happened. So Luke Garner steamrolls his way over to score a try. And this is all alleged, and this is all a bit unconfirmed at the moment. But Jackson Hastings, and please, if you guys watching this right now, if you know of any updates, any news that's happened, please let me know and drop it in the chat. So what I'm going to refer to is the moment where Jackson Hastings lined up his conversion. He was successful in his conversion of Luke Garner's try. And then he looked for the security, and he asked, and he pointed and suggested for someone to be removed and ejected from the ground. Now, there are unconfirmed, I don't want to say reports, but I've heard a couple of different things. It's racial, it's insult towards his family, and he didn't like it. I've heard a couple of different things, so I don't want to speak too much about it, but it's apparently come from the North Queensland Cowboys fan base, or at least one of 60, 50,000 North Queenslanders that has said something awful to Jackson Hastings, bad enough for him to hear it, be reacted to it, and say, security, can you eject this woeful son of a bitch? Excuse my language once again, but that's not what the Cowboys community is all about. That awful human being, whatever he or she said, I don't know who it was, who he or she was, but that person doesn't represent North Queensland Cowboys. And I guess in a way, I apologise to Jackson Hastings on behalf of the Cowboys, because Jackson Hastings had a lot of sledging in his time, and for him to say, hell no, get this person out of here, must have been pretty bloody shocking. And as I said, I've heard it was potentially towards his family, an insult to his family, quite bad and graphic, might I add. And I've also heard and read that it was a racial thing as well. So if you've got any news, guys, for whoever's watching out there, if there's any updates, please let me know, and I'll talk about it here on stream as well. But I thought that was a bad moment from the crowd up there in Brisbane, who, besides the brawl on Friday night, have been pretty good for the most part. But anyway, let's get back more into the review though. 12 points to 8, and the West Tigers are in front. And then in the 35th minute, so only 7 minutes after 7 minutes after Luke Garner's try, Townsend puts a bomb up. Zane Musgrove, of all people, is directly under this ball that's coming down now, and he drops it. Ruben Cotter's standing right in front of him. He then flings it out to Chad Townsend. Chad Townsend's got the ball, and he puts in, he was thinking about putting in a kick, flings it out to Kyle Felt, and Kyle Felt scores, and then Valentine scores his first conversion of the game, making it 14 points to 12. Again, a really good game of footy. And I think at this stage of the game, the Cowboys had completed something like 17 of 17 sets or something to that nature. They were so good with their ball handling this evening, North Queensland. And then the Cowboys went back to back. Kickoff occurred. Reece Robson on maybe play 3 or 4 scoots out a dummy half, makes half a bust. Ruben Cotter's right there on his hip, and Robson passes it to Ruben Cotter from just inside Cowboys defensive territory zone. And Ruben Cotter has Tom Dearden screaming up on his inside, and Ruben Cotter's only got Stafford Toa to beat. And he dummies to pass left, but Tom Dearden's on his right-hand side. And for a split second, I think everyone on the planet thought, you've bloody butchered it. You've butchered it, Cotter. But Toa dropped off. Cotter's just heart and determination and momentum broke through the fullbacks, the West Tigers fullback defensive play and attempt. And it was Ruben Cotter who then scored his first ever try after 29 games in the NRL. What a try it was. There is no other player, potentially in the entire competition that deserves a try like that. Maybe Alex Tawal and Blake Laurie, maybe. But the amount of injuries that Cotter has had to endure and come back from, and for him to score a try like that, have the stage all to himself, run 50, 60 meters to score right under the black dot, and then signal towards his incoming baby who will be born later on this year. Just he deserved that moment so much, man. Gee whiz, that was such a cool moment for the club. It really was. So the scoreline going into halftime was 20. Was it 20 points to 12? Yeah, it was 20 points to 12 going into halftime. And the first half stats: North Queensland Cowboys had 7 offloads. They completed 18 from 18 sets of 6. And it was just a really entertaining game of footy, man. Tuolangi's flick pass will be forever remembered as a part of Magic Round folklore. So too Ruben Cotter's try. Tupou for the West Tigers scoring right on debut as well. And there were nice little bits and pieces of play from either side in between. There was also that unfortunate and very unsavoury bit of off-field drama as well. So that first half, man, was one of the more enjoyable halves of 2022, in my humble bloody opinion. And then something that was alluded to before, I think I might have said it, but the camera started rolling again just before second half, and then Luke Brooks came out with a bloody ice pack wrapped around his hamstring. What was going on freaking there? Also, Jake Simkin was knocked out, concussed heavily. So they were down to 15 men on the bench to start the second half. And it was all up to Jackson Hastings to try and pull it out of the fire for him for the next 40 minutes. And if you excuse me, guys, I'm just going to go back into the comment section. And Mr. Robert M says, it was a male. I've got a video for you. Okay. So right, I really appreciate that, Robert. So I have Instagram. It's Lakeside2034. You can also punch in my name as well. If you'd like to send it to me, you're more than welcome to. I won't be able to show it during this stream, but if you've got any more information to drop into the chat, I'll read it out. You want me to send it to you on Discord or on here, Sam? No, it'll have to be via Instagram, Rob. And I probably wouldn't even want to play it for everyone to see as well. But if you want to leave some sort of descriptions, then I'll sort of make it as PG as possible. Then I will. Jacqueline Dixon, I got yelled at because I was yelling at the TV. Or Jacko Hughes says that Ruben Cotter will play Origin. He has to. He absolutely has to now. He has forged his way into that 18, at least his 18th man, at the very least. And then Jacqueline Dixon agrees. And Robert M, he sure will. So will Hess. Hess and Dunn. Well, Mitchell Dunn's out for the season, Robert. He did his ACL, so there's no chance there for Mitch Dunn. And Carve11 says up Cotter, and yes, absolutely up Cotter for sure, man. And Robert will send it through. So that second half was it was a lot slower. It wasn't as entertaining as it was in the first half. The Tigers were peppering North Queensland for the first 5 minutes again, but then there was a one-on-one strip from Kyle Felt. And then there was, I think it was a penalty as well, because the man was laying too long on top of Kyle Felt, and that was in the 46th minute. And then from that set of 6 from the penalty, because Kyle Felt's one-on-one strip, there was just a nice play for Murray Tuolangi, but it resulted in a no try because Tuolangi put his left foot on the chalk just a little bit. And then 3 minutes later, Townsend, the Cowboys are back inside the 20-meter zone, attacking zone, and Townsend's got the ball, puts in a grubber, and it's contentious. You need some technology, don't you, to really verify if Valentine Holmes was in front of the kicker offside. There's a chance he was. I'm not going to deny it. I'm going to be biased. There's a real chance that he was. He probably even looked at it. But so I don't know. It's just a lucky one that the North Queensland Cowboys got away with in the end there. When Townsend put in a grubber kick from about 15 metres out, Valentine Holmes and Murray Tuolangi were chasing said ball. Valentine Holmes looks to have come from an offside position. Literally, it would have been half a foot in it. But Valentine Holmes sort of missed the ball, and it was Murray Tuolangi who ended up scoring his second try of the evening. So that was much deserved as well to Tuolangi. And then there was about 12 minutes of just back and forth, and then Cowboys made their first error of the game as well. Cowboys, their completion rate was 88%. They only knocked the ball on about 3 times throughout the entire contest. They were so good tonight, especially in, I know it was a sunny day up there in Brisbane, but considering the rain that they've had, considering how steamy it would have been as well, just exceptional, man, just exceptional. And then the 61st minute, Tom Dearden, he receives the ball on the last tackle, way out on the left-hand side, 20 meters out from the try line of the West Tigers. And it was sort of I don't know if it was I guess it was a bad pass. I forget who threw it though, but Dearden sort of just bobbled it a little bit, juggled it, and he ran this arc pretty much all the way until just beyond the goalpost a little bit, and threw this shotgun of a pass out to Peter Hiku, who was out there on the right-hand side. And Peter Hiku just said, "Get out of my way. I'm going to score my first ever try in North Queensland Cowboys colours." And Peter Hiku goes over and scores. And while Valentine Holmes didn't score, Cowboys were well and truly up 13 plus. It was 30 points to 12 by that stage. And then in the 61st, I must apologise. Then the 77th minute comes about, and they had defended about 4 sets of 6 in a row on their own try line. And then they got a penalty, I think. And then the Cowboys made headway. They were in attacking kick position. And Jeremiah Nanai, bro, I don't know how he's got like a magnet underneath him, and that he just puts a little bit of metal on the belly of the ball, and it just smashes him in the chest. He goes over and scores a try. Jeremiah Nanai, another try from a kick again. It beggars belief, like fair income. It beggars belief. And the final scoreline was 36 points to 12. They were in a position to win by a lot more than that. Am I disappointed? No. I couldn't ask for anything more, and I'm not asking for anything more. About 14, 15 minutes into that second half, Scott Drinkwater came off for Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow to come on. And the Hammer in that second half had 8 runs of the ball, and he must have run for about 80 meters or so. He was active, quite active, and very, very in your face in that second half when he came on for Scott Drinkwater. But interestingly enough, about 10, 15 minutes later, I'd say 10 minutes later, Peter Hiku, who was having a man of the match performance at the time, in my opinion, he comes off, and Scott Drinkwater comes back on, and then it was Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow who found himself as the right attacking centre, with partnering Kyle Felt, and it was Scott Drinkwater back in at fullback. So I think that Scott Drinkwater now has well and truly got the fullback position wrapped up. It was in that 10-minute period where the Cowboys couldn't quite cross the line. They were still attacking quite well and still playing very good. But I think Scott Drinkwater's got it, and I think it's just going to be well and truly an interchange of Hiku and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow from here on out. I honestly think that Drinkwater won't be interchanged anymore. I really don't. And I just got a message from Robert. I just got your message, man. Thank you very much, bro. So I think that was really interesting, and I think, and this is what Jacqueline Dixon spoke about, and this is what everyone is going to be speaking about now, that they, for that last 20 minutes, they knew that they had the game wrapped up, so they didn't play to the best of their abilities. And even though they didn't play to the best of their abilities, they were still very, very good. They were still very good North Queensland Cowboys, and completed well, defended for each other, with one another. It was an outstanding game. by the North Queensland Cowboys defensively. I think there was a moment or two where I thought the West Tigers starting to catch them on the outside here. So that's something they may need to look at, especially on and with all due respect on Chad Townsend and Hiku and Kyle Felt's side of the ground as well. But the point is now that last 20 minutes, they reserved their energy. They reserved all their tough hits. They reserved a couple of trick shots for the Melbourne Storm next week, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. It is the biggest game in North Queensland's history since Jonathan Thurston retired. It is the biggest game since 2018 for the Cowboys when we host the Melbourne Storm next weekend. Oh my God! And if you all have kept up to date with this channel, you know, go back and watch the Kate Cornish interview that I had. She was a fantastic guest, by the way, and I really want to have her back on again before the season's out. That's the game I want. Next week is the 2 points I want more than any other throughout the regular season. I think a lot of North Queensland Cowboys fans feel the exact same way. And you know what? I'm feeling confident now. Yeah, Jerome Hughes is injured. So too Remus Smith, Christian Welch as well, and Ryan Pappenhausen as well. They are all injured. They're going to be a little bit more settled next Saturday because Jerome Hughes won't drop out on them at the 11th hour. But I'm confident. I am so confident now, and you got to be, and I want to be. Anyway, I'm starting to get a little bit ahead of myself and starting to go a little bit crazy. Anyway, so my man of the match, my Olympic stand, my best three is my bronze medalist for this evening was Jordan McLean. Jordan McLean, you know what? I'll say it. I'll say it. I think if it came out tomorrow that Jordan McLean has re-signed with the North Queensland Cowboys, I would not be upset with it at all. 2 years ago, I would have asked the question, does he deserve it? Because I think he was out of form 2 years ago. But I think over the past year and a half, his form has improved, not to his state of origin levels, no. But I think his aggression, his just no nonsense, no bullshit approach has been terrific. So I give him my bronze medal. He ran for about 150 odd meters, made 20 odd tackles, and I'm just trying to look for it here. He made a total of about 13 runs. So 13 runs for approximately 150 meters. I think Jordan McLean was fantastic. And you know what else happened as well? Jason Taumalolo only played half an hour tonight. You don't think that bloke's not going to be fresh and ready and ruined and go next week against the Melbourne Storm? I cannot wait. My silver medalist goes to Peter Hiku. I think, as I said, the past couple of weeks, he's just been a little quiet. Not bad, but just a little bit quiet. And I think tonight he was warming himself up, and I think the Cowboys were warming themselves up quite nicely for next weekend's game against the Melbourne Storm. So Peter Hiku, I think he was outstanding. He was creative. His defense was good. And yeah, I'd give him my silver medal. And my gold medal tonight, how could you not? Everything Murray Tuolangi touched pretty much turned to gold. And he was, he at the moment is involved in the try of the year. He will probably have the try assist of the season. It's going to be so hard to match. So whatever we see for the rest of the year, if it matches or beats Murray Tuolangi and Scott Drinkwater's try of the year, it's going to be friggin' special because Murray Tuolangi, he pulled out the best magic trick of Magic Round. And for that, I think not only does he deserve my man of the match, and he also made quite a number of meters with the ball, carries with the ball. He had approximately 10 runs of the ball, which is a great effort again from the back five. My God. So Murray Tuolangi is my man of the match. He was sensational, scoring 2 tries And for that, I think the Cowboys should probably just nudge Andrew Abdo and Peter V'landys and say, can you give us a primetime game next year, boys? Because we kicked serious ass in Magic Round and produced arguably the try of the year so far. Well, no, it's not arguably. They produced the try of the year. By the end of the year, they could have produced the try of the year in Magic Round, North Queensland. So he's hoping that they get a primetime slot next year, the North Queensland Cowboys. So just to go through it again, my bronze medalist is Jordan McLean. My silver medalist is Peter Hiku, and my gold medalist is Murray Tuolungi. Guys, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed your company this evening. Thank you very much for the interaction, and this is all a 500 subscriber edition as well. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for all the support you guys have given me. I started this journey back in March. We're just halfway through May sort of thing, and I'm at 500 subscribers. Not in me wildest freaking dreams. So just before I go, I'll quickly deep dive into the chat as well. So if you just excuse me, Robert, so I don't actually know who got the media's man of the match, but for me, Murray Tuolungi wasn't at Magic Round. What did the guy, hell yes, we'll send videos. Okay, let's try and make this PG as possible, eh? Racial abuse. Okay, so it was racial abuse to Jackson Hastings. Okay, that's really disappointing because the Cowboys are a heavily linked club with the Indigenous community. We have a huge stance against racism, and yeah, that's seriously disappointing. I mean, Jonathan Thurston is at the forefront of racism is not accepted. So yeah, I really hope that over the next couple of days that he or Jeff Reebel or someone from the Cowboys comes out and offers an apology to Jackson Hastings, because at the moment I'm sorry, bro, that happened to you, man. That's not what Cowboys are about. That's really not what we're all about. So apologies to you, bro. And Cowboys Storm next weekend. Jackson's going to drive 3 hours to go and see it. You know, that right there is what the North Queensland Cowboys are all about. They travel, Cowboys fans, further than any other fan base to go see their team play. And that's what it's all about, bro. That is seriously what it's all about. And Robert says, if you're after a Broncos guest to report, I'm keen. Maybe when the Queensland Derby rolls around in July, bro, I'll have a think about it for sure. Yes. Thank you very much for putting your hands up, man. Jason, thank you very much for the compliment. Excuse me. Thank you very much for the compliment. And Jacqueline Dixon, hope it was no Cowboy supporter. Look, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm going off a little bit there, but if it was a Cowboy supporter, incredibly disappointing, and that's not what we're all about. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. North Queensland Cowboys, 36 points to 12 victors over the West Tigers. They are now currently sitting in third position, and if you excuse me as well, is the first time, this is what Andrew Voss said as well, so I'm just ripping off of him and just telling you guys and repeating it. First time in club history that the Cowboys have scored 30 points in 4 straight matches. That's the first time. It's the first time. And speaking of first times, first time since 2016, the Cowboys have won 5 straight. Oh, can you smell finals? I can. I can, and I think we all can. All right then, guys. Thank you. Adios.